What is good, YouTube? So, there's gonna be two videos actually uploaded today because I didn't post the one yesterday because I was absolutely irritated with everything that went on yesterday. Actually, that was 2 days ago. Well, it was really yesterday, but I'm posting it today, right? There was a couple videos I actually made, but I didn't end up posting them. So, piggybacking off of what happened with me blowing my account and everything, I've came to a really good, when something doesn't work, you don't just quit and, you figure it out. You figure out what happened and you go back in stronger. So, I made a TikTok on this. I don't even think I posted. I think I've made a lot of videos in the past couple of days, but I haven't even, let me see.
Me 13.
Yeah, I didn't post one. I'm gonna post it today though. But what I've realized with what has happened, I have blown a lot of accounts. I've blown maybe 6, no BS, or 7 since 2 days ago. I blown my set of accounts. I bought some more, and I blew those as well, right? And my Express. I blew 5 Top Step, 1 Alpha. Yeah, so 6. And I was in my car today, and I had a really eye-opening observation. So what I've realized is the past couple of trading days or trading month, I've had a relatively good month, but I was break even, $300. Yeah, I'm in profit, but I'm not no, you're supposed to be increasing. You're not supposed to be staying the same. So I've had a break-even month, which honestly, every trader goes through it, and maybe this is my eye-opening observation. But only time will tell. So what I've realized is 3 things in my trading that have been holding me back, and I didn't realize. So the first thing is my risk management is good. And actually better than it's ever been. Now, what has been messing me up is my 1 trade a day limit. What I've realized when I was in the car was, my first observation is 1 trade a day with breakouts isn't optimal. And the reason I say that is because, a lot of the times, and if you go back and look, I've gotten faked out, and then it pushes lower. So what I've realized is I've been hesitating a lot with the setups that I've taken. And that's the number one thing, not number one, but you don't want to do that when you're trading. You don't want to hesitate. Which leads me to my second thing, which is, I think, my biggest problem that I didn't realize, and I'm going to show y'all. My stop loss. I have had a really tight stop loss on, NASDAQ and US 30, but I never understood why. Now, my dominant pair this week or this month, I've really traded a lot of US 30, but here's what I didn't realize, right? What I didn't understand, golly, hold on. All right, what I didn't understand was, on NASDAQ, a 20-point stop, 25-point stop is not a 25-point stop on US 30. And if y'all look through all these trades that I've taken, you'll see. I've tried to stay with the same one I wish I would have had somebody to tell me this, but I'm having to work through everything myself. So for instance, this is the trade I would have taken today if I would have had an account. But we would have got stopped out by the looks of it. Look. Boom. Right? So, for instance, we push, we don't hesitate, we take a 25-point stop, and I mean, this is just like, this is decent for what's it called, but we want to wait for the rejection, push, but more than likely with a 20-point stop on NASDAQ, we would have got stopped out. So a good range to be, I necessarily wouldn't like to do this on NASDAQ just because NASDAQ is a little bit tighter, but I want to show y'all this. Look. Yeah, we would have got stopped out, bro. Look. All right. So, regardless, targeting, let's say 50 points. On the second entry, we possibly could have, but I don't know. Second entry, if we would have taken something, probably would have been here. And looks like we would have got stopped at as well. So, here's where I'm getting at. 25-point stop, 50 points on NASDAQ. Now, let's go on this generational run with freaking US 30. So, if we look, let's go. Say, yeah. So look at this, right? 25 points on what looks to be US 30. I mean, if you zoom in, yeah, it looks crazy, but this is so absolutely tight, it's not even funny. Now, let's go with a 40, 50 point stop. We still could have got stopped out, but 40 points looks a little bit better in this situation. And so does 50 points if we was to take a re-entry and maybe even do 50 points, right? Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that, guys, but I want y'all to look at something. If we take this out the way, put this here, right? 50-point stop, targeting 100 points on here. Then we go to NASDAQ, 25. So, this is what really bothered me because I didn't understand. Like, I knew the contract sizing was that way, but I didn't think what's it called was that way. What's it called? The point system differential. So, those, I don't know if I told you, wait. Risk management was cool. Point differential and hesitation. Yeah, so, and I realized this all today. Like, it wasn't like a I knew this. No, I didn't know I was hesitating until I looked back at my videos and said, oh my gosh, I was hesitant. And then the one trade a day, it's cool when you have a system that's, a little bit later in the day and if this doesn't play out, more than likely this is not going to happen. Right? So those are my 3 things that I'm going to have to overcome, and that's what trading is. You live and you learn, and you don't. Now, I've made the same mistake multiple times, but the goal is not to continue to make these mistakes. And I'm okay with the fact that I blew the account. That wasn't my problem. But I was break even for so long, it felt like this month. And this month was a good month. It wasn't a bad month. But what tended to happen was I would take the push, and a lot of my trades have been on US 30 with that tight stop loss, get stopped out, not be able to trade, and then it goes right back down to my TP. You know what I'm saying? So, what I've realized is that, having a better, more decent size stop is kind of more mandatory for US 30, because then we pushed up to a, what is this, 338 point move, and we're not going to have these every day. But if I would have known everything I did today, we could have had a 1 to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, how am I going to go about everything that I just said, and how am I going to, how I fix it is, don't hesitate on setups, wider stops. That's how I'm going to fix it. But how am I going to go? Because I don't have a lot of money to my name at the moment. But guess what? I get to get my negatives off of my account. So even though, my progress might not be here, we progressed. I closed the deal with my mom, and it ended up, the deal that I closed was for $4,000. We get $2,000 up front, and I'm splitting it with another coworker. I think is not really coworker, maybe, I don't know, partner that helped me close the deal, and I get $1,000 up front. $1,000 of that is going to be to get my negative off, and then the other $500 is going to be play around with, whatever. So it's going to be a little bit less than $500 for me to play around with, just because, it's not exactly $500. I think it's like close to $600. But what I'm going to do, and I thought about it. I said I can go get it instant funded, or I can go get 8 accounts, or, those are my two options. But I sat back and I was like, okay, you know what? $100,000 is going to come, right? And watch this. Oh my gosh. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, I am back. So basically what I was saying was, I was thinking, and I want to make $100,000 as quick as possible. That's my goal. What happened? Right? That's my goal. And I want to have those $100,000 months. I want to have $1 million months. I'm going to be that person. But before I can be that person, I have to be the person before that. And before I'm the person before that, I got to be the person before that. And so on and so forth, right? So I said, okay, I want to move out in January. What can I do now that will help me be able to move out in January with trading that I can do now and be okay with? So a 50K account will not, do anything. Now 5 of them will, but, if I have 5 50K funded, now there's a upside and a downside versus 150K funded. Let me tell you the upsides and downs, especially if you haven't, been trading a while. You don't know this. But if I pass 5 150Ks and get each balance up to 5K or 2K and withdraw 1, I can make $5,000. Sure. And risking right and risking proper might take you a month. Let me think. 400 times 21.
400 times 21 is 8,400.
8,400 divided by 2. Okay, so you would make 4,200. 4,200 divided by 2. So you would be at a 10K month, roughly, if you had a good month. A decent average month over a 50% win rate would net you across 5 accounts around 10K. Right? Now that'll, mind you, the return is good. But the initial investment, yeah, like from the return to the initial investment is good if you know what you're doing. But now, you know, if I want to, for instance, if I want to live by myself, and we do this with one 150K funded, right? And I'm risking 400 or 500 per trade, making $1,000 a day, right? 1,000 times 21.
1,000 times 21 is 21,000.
21,000 divided by 2. 50%. So I would have made $10,500, and that's if I had a 50% win rate. But with how we've been trading, we have around a 60 to 70% win rate, right? So $10,500, and then divide that by 2 because you can only withdraw half, which is 5, and you can only withdraw 5K. So I would be at that 5K mark at the end of every month. Now I have roughly 2 months to do this, which means I would have to make $5,000 for the next 2 months, right? On top of whatever I have with mom's job, which 10,000 from trading, 10 to 15,000 with mom's job, that's 20,000 saved up. I should be good. Now that's the plan. But what will I do to let me achieve this? So I'm going to do the same thing I did with my previous account and go, instead of 2 trades a day, risking to pass the account, you know, I'll be risking, $1,000 per trade. Actually, probably risking, I'll do 1,000. I'll do 1,000 per trade, and if I lose that second time, 750. Risking heavier. I'll risk 1,500. No, I'll risk 1,000. Yeah, because on my XFA, I'll be risking 500. So my full loss per day will be $2,000, just so I can get this account passed. And then what it'll allow me to do is, you know, like let's say I had $400. I spend $158 on the challenge and I fail. Worst case scenario, I spend $300. Then I have another $150. And I won't have exactly $150, but I'll have more money by then to activate. So I have 2 chances with risking 1,000 each, and I'm cool with that. Like 1,000 each on 2 trades, that'll leave me 2 days before I blow the account. And what I'll do is, if I lose 2,000 the first day, if I lose 2,000, then I'll only risk the next day 1,000, and so on and so forth. And we're gonna do that. And so for every good day, we risk the same. Every bad day, we risk less. That way we don't blow the account as quick. So, I could go the aggressive route and go 2,000 and make 4,000, but that only leaves me with 2 trades, and I would only have to, do 1 trade per day. So that's gonna be the goal, and that's what we're gonna do. So I will see y'all tomorrow. I'll probably make another video tomorrow, but I won't have the money until probably like next week. So I will catch y'all when I catch y'all. Life is good. Life is great. Figure out your situation, figure out your problem, and adjust. Don't quit.